Aloha everyone, it is Thursday in Holy Week. It is Maundy Thursday, the beginning of the 3 holiest days in our calendar, the beginning of the Triduum. These days start with Maundy Thursday, include Good Friday, and ends with Easter Vigil, which is the beginning of the celebration of Easter that starts on Saturday evening at sundown. Today I'm going to share a reflection from the Gospel of John, today's Gospel reading. So I'll share the reading with you and give you a few thoughts. This is John chapter 13. Now before the festival of the Passover, Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart from this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. The devil had already put it into the heart of Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to betray him. And during supper, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God, and was going to God, got up from the table, took off his outer robe, and tied a towel around himself. Then he poured water into a basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel that was tied around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered, "You do not know what I am doing, but later you will understand." Peter said to him, "You will never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no share with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head." Jesus said to him, "One who is bathed does not need to wash, except for the feet, but is entirely clean. And you are clean, though not all of you." For he knew who was to betray him. For this reason he said, "Not all of you are clean." After he had washed their feet, had put on his robe, and had returned to the table, he said to them, "Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example, that you also should do as I have done to you. Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them. Now the Son of Man has been glorified, and God has been glorified in him. If God has been glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself, and will glorify him at once. Little children, I am with you only a little longer. You will look for me, and as I said to the Jews, so now I say to you, where I am going, you cannot come. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you should also love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. Well, I have to admit, today's the first day I'm really feeling the weight of not being able to gather as a community. It's a day I imagined being with all of you for Emmanuel's agape meal, and so much. So I think that I was dragging my feet a little bit today on the reflection. The words just didn't feel right. I must have started and stopped 100 times. But I do hope that you will find these words encouraging and know that you are close to my heart and in my prayers today, and I am missing you a little bit extra. So today in the Gospel of John, we hear the story of Jesus washing the disciples' feet. I think every time I preach about Peter, I say he's one of my favorites because he tries so hard and doesn't get the point. This is yet another example. Jesus is at table and he takes a towel and wraps it around his waist and begins to wash the disciples' feet. And he gets to Peter, and Peter says, "No, Lord, you'll never wash my feet. No, that's not for you to do." And Jesus patiently explains, "I have to do this." So Peter, eager to please, says, okay, well, not just my feet then, but wash my head and my hands too. And Jesus says, no, you are clean. I just need to wash your feet. Now, I don't know if you've participated in a foot washing before. I've been a part of a few. I always joke that I try and get a pedicure the week before Holy Week because of Maundy Thursday. Because it's a little challenging to have your feet washed. There's an interesting sense of shame and this feeling that, no, I don't want anyone to touch my feet. It's too close. It's an experience that is incredibly intimate and where you may feel incredibly vulnerable. I know I do, but it's the example that Jesus set for us. And I think it's easy to look at the reading and think we're supposed to wash others' feet, and we are. We are supposed to share that love and humility. He says several times, a servant's not greater than his master. And so we're supposed to follow the example. And on the flip side, we're also called to receive that love, because that's where it starts. Jesus makes the point that it's okay. It is okay to accept what is offered. Like I said, it's a challenge to get your feet washed. It's a challenge to accept that love, to accept that you are worthy of the love that is being shown, that you are worthy of that service. It takes a bit of courage, and it creates something, a safe space that is so unique. And when I think about how we as a body of Christ can pay that forward, I think that we're called to create safe space, not only for our community and the people we know and love, and also for strangers, for people who are walking in the doors and looking for a place to belong. That's what we can offer. At the end of the passage, Jesus says, people will know you are my disciples by your love. And it reminds me of a song, and the words are, they will know we are Christians by our love, by our love. They'll know we are Christians by our love. That is what we hope for. That is what we hope to be known for. Not exclusion or prejudice or arrogance or whatever, the reputation might be of the church in the world. But that people recognize that special love, that unconditional love, the love that was given to us, that we're invited and expected to pay forward. That's what is precious. In this story, we see Jesus modeling what it means to be a servant leader. That is what we are called to. Not only within our community, but in this world. So I pray that as we move forward in this holy time, in these holy days, that to begin, you'll be able to receive and accept that love, to know that you are worthy, that shame will be cast out, that you will feel safe and loved, and that will wash over you. And I also pray that you can share that with the world. That is how they will know we are Christians. That is how they will know we have something special. It's not about us. It's about the love that we've come to know. Blessings.